Hey, my O309 group, I just want to welcome you all to finals week. If you've made it to this point, that means that you successfully have passed your Chapter 1, Chapter 2, Chapter 3, and Chapter 5 assignments, including all your post-test exams, and have successfully submitted all your student work submissions. So I just want to congratulate you first on making it to this point. Really, my goal of this video is to assist you in preparing for your final exam and also just understanding how to go through the process of requesting a final exam, testing location, testing date, and a testing time. So you'll notice here that I'm on the home page. The first thing I want to take you to is the Start Here module and just the course schedule. I think it's very important to just kind of reiterate those deadline dates for your final exam. So the course schedule here at the very bottom, if you'll scroll all the way down, says that all final exams have to be completed by Thursday, May 3rd. So at this point, we're basically 2 weeks out from that date. I would highly encourage you to try to take your final exam sometime the week of the 23rd through the 26th, which is that Monday through Thursday, because number one, you have to request a testing date, you have to test, your test has to make it back to me so I can grade it and also provide you feedback. So if for any reason you're not successful on that first final exam attempt by testing by no later than the 26th, that gives you time the week of the 30th through the 2nd to attempt your final exam for a second time. Remember, you are required to earn a minimum earned score of 70% on the final exam to successfully complete the course. So with that being said, let's go to the final exam module and just kind of discuss final exam requirements and also show you guys how to request a testing location. So I'm on the home page. I'm going to go down to the final exam module. That's going to take me directly there. And then I'm going to look at the final exam introduction. You need to move through this module in the order of the pages. That way you don't miss any information. So it says, what do I need to do to schedule my final exam attempt? So we have to obviously read through the module. We need to read through the final exam frequently asked questions. We need to read the TVCC testing center locations and information. And then we need to prepare to actually request and schedule our exam. So once you're ready to schedule your first or second final exam attempt, you must inform your instructor by submitting an exam request on the final exam page, which is located at the end of this module. Please include the TVCC testing center location, the date, and I would like for you to also include the time that you're going to be at the testing center. That way we make sure that the testing center is open and you're not showing up outside of testing center hours and then are frustrated because the testing center is not available for you to test. So anyway, we're going to move through here. I'm going to click next. Oh, highlighted here, do not show up to a testing center location until you have received an email. You're not going to receive an email. You'll actually receive a comment on your testing center request, and we'll talk about that in just a second. This is the final exam requirements. I'm going to summarize it up for you real quick, but you do need to read through all of this. Requirements number one is you're only allowed 2 attempts on the final exam. If you score higher than a 70% on the first attempt, then obviously you're done for the semester and you're considered course complete. If for some reason you do not satisfy the 70% minimum requirement on your first final exam attempt, you will be required to attempt the final exam a second time. Students are only allowed 2 attempts. So if you fail or score below the 70% mark on your second attempt, then you will receive an IP, which is called an in progress for the semester, and you will be required to recomplete the course from the beginning. So it's very important that you utilize that first attempt to try to score the highest possible. That way you don't fall into the second testing center testing attempt category. That way it's just less stress. So here is testing center information. We have a testing center at the Terrell campus, which is where I'm located at. It is the easiest testing center for me to obviously give an exam to and to make sure that it's there for you. We have the Athens testing center location, we have the Palestine testing center location, and we have the Kaufman testing center locations. So basically what you need to do is try to choose the testing center that's most convenient for you. And if you give me, if once you submit your final exam request, I will make sure that your testing center is located at the testing center of your choice. Please make sure that you arrive at least an hour before the testing center closes. Our testing centers will not allow a student to start an exam within that 1 hour window because of the fact they don't want students rushing through and not having enough time to complete their exam. As your instructor, I would give yourself at least 2 to 2.5 hours to complete your exam. That way you don't have to worry and stress about running out of time, and it just kind of eases that anxiety that comes along with that. Here is the final exam frequently asked questions page. These are the most common questions that I've gotten throughout the years teaching this course that most of my students ask. What do I need to do to schedule my final exam attempt? Will I be able to use notes or a textbook on the final exam? Will the final exam be multiple choice? And I get a lot of questions about calculators, and that's located on this page also. So go ahead and make sure you read through that because it will probably answer some of the questions that you might currently have going on in your head. And of course, if you have questions outside of that you need answered, you can always email me through your Canvas inbox. This is more testing center location information along with the website address so you can check their operation hours, and also obviously testing center policies. Now this page right here is the final exam submission request. It looks different from you guys, so let me go into student view so you guys can see how it's going to look for you within the module. So did you see how I wasn't able to click on it right there? That's because you are required to move through the module in the page order. So I have to click on each one of these pages, and basically that signals to me as your instructor that you've read through all the final exam testing information before you're going to be allowed to submit your final exam request. So it was good that that happened to me. That way if it happens to you also, you'll understand what the module is asking you to do. So you have to move through each page. Okay, here is your submission exam. I'm going to have to change the available to. Obviously, that must have been a later date. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to come in. What I would do if I was you, the easiest way is to actually physically copy these questions. So I'm going to highlight them, right click, and I'm going to copy them. And then I'm going to go in and submit the assignment. Now remember, you must have successfully passed your chapter 1, 2, 3, and 5 post-tests before you will be allowed to attempt the comprehensive final exam. Your final exam will cover all material reviewed through chapters 1 through 5 during the semester, and you must earn a score of at least 70% or higher on the final exam to be considered course complete. The final exam is proctored and it must be taken at a testing center. So I've read through all that. I've copied those questions. I'm going to submit the assignment. Once I hit submit, a text entry box appears at the bottom of the page. I'm going to click on the text entry box, which is indicated here by my icon that's blinking. I'm going to right click and I'm going to paste the questions. So I'm going to answer these questions right next to them. What TVCC testing center location would you like to attempt your final exam at? I'm just going to put Terrell. What date or format would you like to attempt? I'm just going to say I would like to attempt on Tuesday, what would that be? April 24th. So Tuesday, April 24th. What time of day? I don't get off work until, let's say, 2 o'clock, so I would like to test at 3 p.m. Okay, that's all you have to do. Down here, there's a comments section. Do not put any comments in here. These are not going to be notified to me. If you have any other questions, email me directly through your Canvas inbox. That way I receive them immediately. And you're going to submit your assignment. Once your assignment is submitted, up here at the top, you will see that your submission has been turned in, and it'll give you a submission date and details. So I'm going to leave student view. I'm going to go back into instructor view, and I'm going to go to the grades page, and I'm actually going to grade it. And then I'm going to show you how you can see that you have feedback. So here we are. Let me get over here. I'm going to go into the student view. So here you can see I'm in instructor view. I see here obviously the student's request here, and they've completed all 3 questions. So I'm going to give them a 5, and then I'm going to let them know that your submission has been received and your test has been sent to the testing center. This lets you know that you're ready to go. I mean, when you show up, your test is going to be there. Now for you, when you go in to actually review this, then where you're going to see this comment is going to be under the grades tab. And you can see here that it's indicating to me that I have something to review. And then scroll all the way down to the bottom, and right here it says final exam request deadline. You can see I scored 5 of 5, and I have a comment feedback. So when I click here, that's when you're going to see the comment that your submission has been received and your test has been sent to the testing center. So you are good to go. If you are a student that for some reason is unsuccessful on the first testing attempt, then you will need to do another submission for your second testing attempt. You do not need to do a second testing attempt unless you score less than 70% on your final exam. So hopefully that kind of clarifies for you kind of what's going on within Canvas and the resources that you have to look at for your final exam. The last thing I want to point out is within my math lab, sorry, it's running slow. So within my math lab, you have a final exam review and study aid assignment. This is the assignment that you need to use to assist you in preparing for your final exam. I highly encourage you not to go and attempt your final exam until you have at least completed this assignment 1 time. You can take this assignment as many times as you want to assist you. It is located, make sure it's under the All Assignments tab, so Show All on the Assignments page, and then once again, you're just going to scroll to the very bottom, and it's Final Exam Review and Study Aid Assignment. That's what you're going to use to assist you in studying for your exam. Besides that, I mean, I really think everything else is pretty self-explanatory within the module. I just want to remind you that all attempts, first and second attempts, have to be completed by the 3rd, not on the 3rd, by the 3rd. So really your last testing date option is the 2nd. Please go ahead and submit your final exam request this week. That needs to be done probably before the weekend. And then let's try to get you guys testing on your first attempts the 23rd through the 26th. If for any reason you cannot test on these dates, please let me know immediately so that we can make alternate plans. But besides that, if you have any further questions, just contact me through your Canvas inbox and let me know. I wish you all the best of luck as you get ready to move into final exam week.